Joe, what is your sleep position? Like your normal go-to sleep position?
So I tend to go to sleep on my stomach,
Okay.
and then I wake up on my back.
Yeah, see, I don't know why. I'm like the opposite. I'm a side sleeper. Always been a side sleeper. And especially on my left side.
Nice.
Just because apparently side sleeping is a little bit better for the back, and sleeping on your left side kind of helps with like digestion and the prevention of acid reflux. Because when you sleep on your right side, everything is on the right side of your stomach, where your it's not your esophagus. What the fuck is that tube?
Is it not esophagus?
I don't know. I don't know, Joe. I'm you're the ones better, because like there's two tubes. One's breathing and one's like for food. Is the esophagus the food or the breathing?
Oh, I think the esophagus is for food.
Okay. Well, then for the esophagus, like, the stomach acids will go into the esophagus, and depending on how your head is angled and everything, it could lead back up to your throat, causing you to
acid reflux or something.
Yeah. Lately, though, and it started around quote-unquote wintertime, as we talked about how it's been here, I've been waking up on my stomach a lot more.
Oh, okay.
But it's weird because, like, I will sleep in the middle of my bed on my left side, so I'm facing, like, my closets and all that other stuff, away from, like, my nightstand and all that shit, but I wake up on the edge of my bed next to my nightstand. So I am moving quite a bit while I'm sleeping. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Because it's not like I'm getting a restless sleep. Like, I'm not, like, tossing and turning all night, and it's just somehow, like, I just get over there to, like, the edge of the bed, and I can't explain why. And I don't like sleeping. Like I said, I don't like sleeping on my stomach because it's not good for my back. It's either I gotta lay flat on my back with my knees a little raised, like, by a pillow or something, or sleep on my side with a pillow between my legs and everything, try to keep the alignment done.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it is. And, I mean, obviously, like, if I had a smaller gut, maybe I could sleep on my stomach, but, we play the cards we're dealt, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's not, like, great for my back that I sleep that way, but it's the only way I can fall asleep.
Yeah.
I've tried. I used to fall asleep on my back and wake up on my back, and just, I don't know when it happened, but probably 5 or 6 years ago, I could only fall asleep face down.
Yeah. Do you rotate or flip your mattress?
Yes. Yeah, every 6 months. We rotate because the type of mattress we have doesn't flip.
Gotcha. It's like a pillow top or whatever the hell it is, or a memory foam, or
it's like some kind of foam deal.
Yeah. I need to rotate mine a lot more than I do. But again, it's because all this weight is laying on it. Probably, but yeah, I don't know. Sleeping has been really goofy lately. At least I'm not. I could look. I mean, obviously, I got Fitbit on. I sleep with my Fitbit on, and I can usually look at the app, and it can tell me how my sleep is and everything. But it's like, I'm not waking up drowsy. I'm not having a problem falling asleep. I don't understand why I'm all of a sudden, like, reverting to stomach sleeping, because I haven't slept on my stomach or woke up on my stomach in years, and I'm not sure what changed.
Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But we're at the last episode of the year here, Joe. We made it through 2023. I think this is episode 48, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I know it's 48 or 49. I know we didn't get to episode 47. This will be episode 49. So we almost made 50 in 1 year.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
Sorry about the confusion about last Tuesday, or whatever the Tuesday before that.
Not on you. It's not on you. I didn't realize it myself. I was sitting there like, okay, so if we do Tuesday, we do, whatever, we'll be done. We'll hit 50. We'll end the season. We'll end the year and stuff. And for some reason, here I am on a Tuesday evening, like, there's no way I don't have anything to do right now. And then I think around like 9:30, I'm like, oh yeah, but, we got through it. like I said, we promised ourselves we'll get 50 by the year. We hit 49, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. We'll end the year on episode 49. We'll end our next episode, the first episode of 2024 will be the end of the season. We'll start season 8 up and everything, and like I said, we'll still progress on like the doubling down and everything. Try to get to that, the number we would be at, because I guess technically we should be at episode 450 by November 1st or something like that. Like that's, I think that's what we're supposed. Because our first episode was in December of 2015. This will be 9 years in, hitting November, and that would put us at 50 episodes a year, 450. And wait, is that right? Am I mathing that right?
No idea.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay, so first off, I'm looking at JFW, and I don't know why. This is episode 48.
Ah, okay.
So we'll have 2 more episodes, but we're at episode 323 as of right now, so we're not too far off. But as I mentioned last episode, 2024 is not only big because of the whole idea of working out and dieting and trying to get in shape and making 2024 the final year where I attempt and not quit. Like, it's going to be my year to actually commit to doing shit, because I've been saying over the last few years, like, this is the year, basically like the Cubs in the World Series. This is my year. No, but I want to make 2024 my year, because, I mean, obviously, 2024 is going to be a huge year, not only for us, but, obviously the world, the Olympics, it's a leap year, presidential elections are happening, so a lot of things are going to, be better or be worse, coming here.
Yeah, you gotta get into shape for the coming Civil War.
Yeah, right. I did make the decision.
I shouldn't joke about that.
Anyway. It's weird, and obviously, like, I don't want to talk about it too much because my facts come from social media and not from actually doing research myself and everything. But I did hear a lot about the probability that come November, Illinois might be red.
Whoa!
But I don't see that. Like I said, I haven't done any research on it, so I have no basis other than just what I've seen as far as like video clips and everything. And obviously, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You could be, Republican, you could be Democratic, but no matter what, anybody who's social media and support their side, they're going to clip videos that support their side over the other. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I have no true basis on it. I just saw this last night, and I had no research looking into it and everything. But everything I saw was, Democratic, voters announcing that they will like boycott like the DNC, and that they don't want to follow it. And I guess it has to do with something that recently happened with Biden and something he said that became an outright lie, something like that. At least I don't know the true facts of it, but one of the things that said like there were Democratic voters who said that they would rather vote. What was the quote she said? Something about, I don't know the exact quote, but basically, that one quote that goes like, I'd rather have the devil I know than the devil I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was very similar to that. I just don't remember what the exact quote was. Something about, I'd rather vote for a snake of this than something of that. I just can't remember what the quote was, but I just remember when I heard it, I was like, the devil you know versus the devil you don't know, or whatever like that.
Right. Yeah.
So, but when they were talking about how like, cause she spoke, some other guy spoke, and this guy like made this announcement, it's like 2024 is going to be, this state is flipping or something like that. And these, again, apparently social media, they're just social media clips. I'm not sure how factual it is. I don't know.
Sure.
But these were apparently all Democratic Chicago voters where, I guess in 2020, the last election was, 75% of Chicago voted Democratic, and they think it's going to actually flip the other way, where 75% of Chicago is going to flip Republican. I don't see it happening.
No, me either, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
I could see a lot of people choosing to sit out the election.
I saw that. I saw like somebody talking about how like even total boycotting the election too, and that's where they also believe that if the people who choose to boycott, that's why it's going to flip. But I just don't see, because we talked about it a couple episodes ago about the percentage of the population being just Chicago alone. It was
wild.
Like, was it 40% of Chicago, but like 60 something percent of like Cook County?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. So obviously Cook County dictates the election in Illinois.
Right. Yeah, pretty
based
much
on population. So I don't see any of it changing, but it is something that I'm glad it clicked in my head that it was happening, because I do want to look up and see exactly what the hell they're talking about, because it's interesting to think that that is a possibility, but I just don't see it really happening. You know, it's, I forget where I was going with it.
New Year.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I think I made the decision that I may actually take the Wednesday after the election off, because I do enjoy staying up and watching the elections and stuff.
Yeah.
And especially 2016, I did stay up to watch the election, and I stayed up and watched the entirety of it. And I think I ended up going to bed at like 2 a.m. and I did 2 or 3 a.m, whatever. And I didn't take the day off, and I went to work blown out, exhausted. And then in 2020, I stayed up to watch it. But I think they called it they're calling counting or something like at this time. I think it was like 11 o'clock or midnight or whatever. They said they're halting counting and stuff. So I went to bed and I woke up and saw that there was continued counting in certain places that dictated the final count of like 2 or 3 states or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being exhausted the next day, even though I probably could just record it, but I really like watching that shit happen in live time. Just the same thing with the Cubs World Series. Like, they kept going into extra innings. It was Eastern time,
Right.
And all that. So it's like, I stayed up till like, I think everything was all said and done by like 1 or 2 in the morning. And
Yeah.
at that time, Colin was living with me. So I was staying up watching the entire thing. Colin kept coming up and down the stairs, going from his bedroom back to the living room to watch. Like, I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens. I was like, but I like watching that shit in real time, and I'd rather see the results come out and see it happen rather than just like Google it later.
Absolutely.
It's just really interesting to get everyone's perspective, because I'll flip back and forth from like Fox to CNN to NBC, because I want to get everyone's perspectives and stuff like that and get their thoughts and their mindsets on it. And so I'm cool that's happening in 2024. I'm not quite sure where the Olympics are happening in 2024, but I know it is happening, right? Like,
yeah.
leap years, elections, and or at least Summer Olympics, I think, happen all in the same year.
Yeah.
Winter's the opposite. It's like 2 years later or whatever.
Right. Paris, by the way.
Is it Paris? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, yeah. So I like the Olympics. So I just like these years. I guess it's like, I refer to it as election years just because I know they're leap years and also the Olympics. I don't think I've ever referred to it as like, oh, I love the Olympic years. No, I guess it's the election years and stuff.
Right.
So I'm also excited because I know 2024 is something I want to make about me, and really try to find like that sense of self-control and drive and stuff that I've been missing over the course of a few years. I know a couple episodes ago I was also talking about how I want to have more like get-togethers and stuff at my house.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was cool because I went out to Steam Hollow out here in Mantino with a friend of mine for the last time, because they are shutting their doors following their New Year's Eve party.
I wondered. I saw that you posted that, like, thanks for all the memories or whatever. What's going on there? Just
just after 5 years, they realized that it wasn't, and I guess it's okay. I mean, they kind of put it out there themselves, but they've just been struggling for the last few years.
It's not as profitable as they'd like it to be.
Yeah. Like, in the beginning, like, they were doing fine. Then, obviously COVID was a big impact and everything on everybody and small businesses and all that stuff. And they did what they could to, get through it, end up, both of them getting full-time jobs to to balance out, their income and keep the business going and everything. But they just got to a point where it's just not financially logical for them to keep going. And also, I guess, they just realize that they don't have enough time for their family like they used to. And, they want to be able to, spend time with their kids and all this stuff, and to do,
Sure.
four full-time, or like, it's like two true full-time jobs plus the bar, plus doing side jobs. And they just were feeling burnt out. So they decided that, they're going to open their doors December 31st, do their New Year's Eve party. And once that's over, they'll be shutting the doors forever. So, it was a fun 5 years.
Yeah, it was a great place.
Yeah, we got to interview Blaine before the bar opened up, which was pretty cool. It sucked, but I mean, I was talking to Michelle when I was out drinking with her and her husband and their friend Thursday. And I was telling her about how, like, I want to have more get-togethers in my house. Like, next year I want to start doing more in my house and everything. So, I think we're like, well, I guess me, because it's my house, not we, but, planning for a St. Patrick's Day party, setting a goal for it, making the house ready by St. Patrick's Day. So
Nice.
So if you guys want to come down for a St. Patrick's Day party, it'll probably just be mostly like maybe sitting on the deck if the weather's nice, or using the bar that's down in the basement. But, it's really about goal setting and everything for 2024, for me, as far as what I want to do with my life, being more active, more sociable, more involved in dieting and workouts and all that stuff, utilizing the gym membership I have and all that stuff. But I'm happy because 2024 is also what I feel is going to be the biggest growth here at Freakin Studios, in total and everything.
Nice.
One of the big things I want to do, and I guess there are some things that have been decided, and again, like I mentioned, I apologize, I should have ran this by you, but do you ever remember me talking about a show called The Power Hour?
No.
Okay, so The Power Hour is a wrestling podcast. I don't know if it's called a web show. They release videos on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
So I guess it could be a podcast, a video podcast, a web series, whatever it is. But basically, they interview independent wrestlers on it.
All right.
They will be joining Freakin Studios next year.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's weird because JFW and Power Hour had like this small little feud going back and forth for like a few years and stuff, and a lot of it was based on the fact that, like, I would look at Steve, who hosts the podcast, his character in wrestling is Steve and everything. So I would always, when I talk about pro wrestling and we talk about the kayfabe part of it and everything, I always podcast about what I see. Regardless of what I know what's going on, I podcast about what I see because that's what the fans see. So I always question some of the things that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would turn around and make it worse than what I said. And then all the other co-hosts of the show and everything would just agree with what Steve says because they don't listen to the show, except for a couple of them. Well, Pac-Man, who co-hosts with me, also co-hosts with them. And he never disagrees with them because he's a kiss ass. Mm-hmm. C-Red, who is, he officially retired from in-ring action in indie wrestling. He's over there. He would always listen to what Steve says because why would Steve lie about anything? Rion, who works over there, he does listen to the show and sometimes will correct Steve. And then Rachel, who's over there, doesn't really, I don't think she listens to the show, so maybe once in a while she does. But anyway, C-Red decided to actually listen to the show, this past show, because on the last episode, we made the title of the show, Thank You, C-Red. And he finally realized that things that I was saying on the show were not what Steve was relaying to him. So he realized that Steve was blowing everything up and making it a bigger deal than it actually was. Well, this past Tuesday, they're doing like an appreciation night for C-Red and his career in wrestling and all that sort of stuff. And I was there and I said a few things, not a lot, just a little bit. And C-Red said, because C-Red was wondering if he was going to stay and do the Power Hour or he was just going to call it a career and just be done, not only with wrestling, but also with the show. And he said he made a decision that he would stay on and continue to do the Power Hour if JFW and the Power Hour stop what they're doing. Stop the beef and, get along and blah, blah, blah. Steve said he's fine. And I'm just like, I mean, I've never had a problem, but whatever. I'm fine with it. I'm still going to call Steve out on his shit, but it's more about the wrestling basis of it and everything, and I'm going to make that a point to be, known that if I call Steve out on his shit, it's going to be what I see at the wrestling shows. But anyways, I was on to Steve, and because the whole thing was, a few weeks ago, I was at a wrestling show that Steve was at, and when the show's over, we usually get together talking bullshit and everything, and I was asking, I was like, do you know if C-Red's going to stick around or not? Steve said he didn't know that if the C-Red's going to mention it on his Tuesday show, the Tuesday appreciation show, that he was going to stick around or not, and I was like, what are you going to do if he doesn't? And he said if he didn't, he was just going to stop doing the show because he didn't want to do it without C-Red. So it was at that point where I made him an offer. I was like, well, if you do end up leaving, you just come over and do a show with us. And, he assumed like maybe just join in JFW. And I was like, no, I want you to do your own show. Like, I want you to continue to do the Power Hour. We'll just call it something else. And you can worry about doing the interviews. You could do the interviews and all stuff with, the wrestlers. You could bring Rachel over and she could talk about roller derby because that's what she does and that's what she talks about on their show. To talk about the roller derby. Pac-Man can stay with you. Rian can stay with you. Like, you guys just basically it'll be the Power Hour, but it'll be under Freakin Studios. It'll be a different name but it's the same concept and shit. C-Red decided to stay, obviously, so the Power Hour will move forward. And then I just asked Steve, I'm like, do you want to be part of Freakin Studios? He said, yeah. So, it was really quick, really easy. But yeah, officially in 2024, the Power Hour will officially now be part of, Freakin Studios. And, that's that growth.
Nice. That's dope. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. And like I said, it's all video. They don't release audio and shit. Actually, they might release audio on iHeartRadio. I just watch it on YouTube or Facebook and stuff, but, maybe down the line I'll help him like with the audio releases and everything, but they do really well with their video downloads and all that stuff over on YouTube. So that's happening. I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you. I already mentioned it over at JFW, and I'm gonna make the announcement on that show as well. But Dizzle J's coming back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's going to be
a divorce or something, or
long broken up for quite some time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sad. I didn't make that joke thinking that it actually happened.
No, he's okay with it.
Okay, then that's fine. Real roller coaster.
Yeah, he realized it was for the best and everything. But yeah, I've been in talks with DJ on and off for like months and everything. Like because he does listen to the show. He listens to this freaking show. He listens to JFW and everything. And the other day he was messaging. He's like, "Hey, did I miss this freaking show, or did you not put one out?" And I was like, "Dude, yeah, no, the month has been crazy and everything, but we're gonna get them recorded and get them out. Don't worry about it." And he was talking about how like he misses it and everything. I was like, dude, I've been inviting you to come back for so long. All you gotta do is just say when. And his biggest thing is like he still works night shifts Monday through Friday and everything like that.
Gotcha.
And I was like, well, do you honestly really want to come back to this? Like, do you really want to do this? And so what we figured out was, and he's gonna listen to this, so he'll either like agree or disagree with how this went, but we came to the decision that like he's gonna come back, but not in like a full-time capacity. He's not gonna come back on the actual JFW show itself, but what he's gonna do is whenever there's like a main pay-per-view for televised wrestling, like AEW, WWE, or whatever it is, when they have like a televised pay-per-view and shit like that, or pay-per-view for televised wrestling, we're going to do a show. So he's only going to maybe do 1 or 2 shows a month with me.
Still, that's dope.
Yeah, and we're going to do it on Saturday mornings, kind of like how we do here.
Yeah. Sure.
He wasn't a big fan. He likes the idea. He wasn't a big fan of waking up in the morning like an adult, but just like, I'm just like, listen, man, like, I'm fine with doing this. We could do it this way, that way. Because ever since I started doing it, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm upset by it, but ever since we started doing independent wrestling, straight up only independent wrestling over on JFW, we lost a lot of the worldwide audience. We have a lot of, so we have a great local audience, but we don't have like that worldwide audience anymore because we're not talking about what's on TV.
Gotcha.
So I want to get that back. And, so talking with like DJ and stuff, it's like, you don't gotta go to the independent shows. You don't gotta talk about independent wrestling. just look up what's going on TV between WWE, AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor, NWA, New Japan, like we'll Impact Wrestling. We'll talk about all these. We'll just make it a news thing. We'll do it for about an hour. We'll talk about the upcoming pay-per-views, and then that'll be it, and
perfect. Yeah. Hopefully it's something you want to do anyway because you like the sport.
Yep. Yeah, he just misses the banter and everything, and he enjoys the shit I do with Nubby and Pac-Man. I guess everyone's enjoying how big of an asshole Travis has become on JFW. But yeah, it's just one of the things where he just decided that he wanted to come back and do it, and I was like, yeah, like whatever I could do to make it work. So he's gonna come back and like, yeah, every couple Saturdays he'll, we'll record a show and stuff like that. And that way, we can still do our Saturdays on the opposite days and maybe Tuesdays and stuff when we don't. And, but obviously on Tuesdays we'll just stick to one episode. Saturdays we can do the two. So like I said, the goal is to get to 450 by November, which again, I don't know. What did I say? We had like 300 and something. It may not be doable. Yeah, it may not be doable, but you know what? We're going to keep persevering. 322. So that puts it at like 130. Yeah, so it may not be feasible, but the idea is to get up to where we should be whenever we get to that point. Which I believe could happen. So Freakin Studios is is welcoming a new podcast. Dizzle J's coming back to do JFWs and everything. I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine last night. She was asking me what was going on with the dating podcast, and unfortunately, as much as I still want to do that, until I find two girls who are willing to host that podcast and do that podcast, it's not going to happen.
Right.
For two reasons. One, I think it works out better when two women are having the conversation rather than a guy and a girl.
Right.
I think it's okay to have a guy's perspective on every once in a while, but I really want it to be two girls having like girl talk about dating and men and all that shit.
Yeah.
The second thing is I don't want to host that podcast because I really want to make our Christian-based podcast happen.
Oh yeah, nice.
I really want to do that. So my hopes is we can actually get that started by Easter of 2024.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And I think what we decided was it was going to be focused on the lesser told stories of the Bible. And
that's right.
And also, kind of just talk about religion. Cause when I was talking to my friend, she said that she loves God. She loves, the idea of Jesus and the higher power and all that stuff. She just doesn't like, organized religion. She doesn't like the idea of having to go to church and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. She just likes the idea of God and that. And that's why she said, I probably wouldn't listen to a podcast like that because, I'm just not big into like sermons and preaching and everything. It's like, I was telling her, well, it's not sermons. Like, it's not an audio based, like, Sunday morning church. Like,
right.
It's like everything, every podcast that I'm doing, that I want to do, that I would ever want to do, is I wanted to have the idea of two guys sitting together having a conversation about whatever the topic is. So so when we do the podcast, I would just want to be like you and I just got together after Sunday morning sermon, went to breakfast, and just kind of recapped what was talked about.
Yeah.
I would also love the idea of like maybe getting some people on and talking about like their experiences in religion and stuff like that. People who are born again Christians or people who have been part of the religious community for so long, pastors, stuff like that, like of different religions, of different denominations, talk to, pastors who do the traditional hymns to, pastors who do contemporary. And just to see the differences in religion and realize how, no matter how different everyone is, there's always one common goal. It's the higher power of Lord and Savior. But I don't want to kick off, say, hey, yeah, January 1st, boom. No, it's like Easter. Easter's, great. I mean, I guess obviously if you want to look at it realistically, we should have done it around Christmas because the birth of Jesus, the birth of the, whatever. But
it's the beginning of the church year is Advent. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think Easter's a good goal. It's 3 months out. We can finalize a name. I think we have a name. I don't want to announce it yet until we actually finalize the name, but I think we have a name pretty set for it. But I want that to be released. We got to figure out a day for recording and all that stuff. And so I guess, like I said, 2024 is going to be really interesting because in my mind, by March, we'll be doing this freaking show 1 or 2 times a week. I'll be doing JFW 1 or 2 times a week, and we'll be doing the Bible-based, episode once a week too. So it's a lot of podcasting. It's a lot of editing. May need some help with some of that stuff, just to give you a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably edit my show for sure.
My hero. Yeah, because that's another thing too. I'm going to be the secondary on a show, which is exciting for me. It's less work. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so happy for that. But I'm also happy for you because I think this is because this will, obviously, Joe, you're an important part of every podcast you're on. But I'm excited that you're going to have, this is Joe's show.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that because I think it's a long time coming. We just talked last, episode that you've been doing Geekcast Live for 10 years.
That's right.
We're over here on this freaking show. We're going to hit 9 years this coming November.
Mm-hmm.
It's time that Cartoon Joe has his own show. 100%. And I'm excited for it. So that's also something planned for 2024. And also, YouTube. We've been preaching YouTube nonstop since August, September about how, the growth of it, doing the more videos and everything. There's an idea and a concept coming out that I had an idea for. You loved it, and we're going to start pursuing that more based on the name of it. Actually, I guess there's 2. There's 2 different names that came up. One was just an idea I called you about immediately, and the other one just kind of popped up while we were actually recording shows. But Freaknet Studios over on YouTube. If you're not part of it, if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you go to Freaknet Studios, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that stuff. First off, Joe, I'm sorry that we're 30 minutes in. I haven't given you a lot to talk, so I do apologize for that.
All good. It feels like a news roundup about next year's plans, so it's all good.
Right. Well, it's weird because last year we talked about the year in review, and now it seems like this year we're talking about what's coming forward.
Right. We're in the year in preview.
Yeah. And I'm so excited for everything. And what's weird is I thought that all of this was going to take maybe 10 minutes, and then we're just going to banter. But it almost seems like this is going to take 45 minutes, and we're going to take 5-6 minutes of bantering.
Yeah, I think that's good.
But the thing is too, it's everyone's learning about what happened next year at the same time you are. Because
I'm digging it.
I am shitty when it comes to communication. So by the time this show gets released, we already released the holiday season food fast food stuff. And that is officially called On the Go with Travesty and Joe. And we're going to hopefully do a lot more of those. I love the idea of just going to places, going through the drive-thru, ordering the food, sitting in the car, trying it there, moving on to the next place. I like the idea of that. The other show we haven't done yet, so I don't want to give the name out of it yet because I don't want anyone to steal it because in my mind it's a great fucking name.
Mm-hmm.
But it does involve us sitting at my bar down in the basement and doing some things. So it gives you guys an idea of what we're talking about, but I do love the idea of that. So, as far as Freaknet Studios goes, as far as YouTube, when, me and Joe are doing our videos, there's going to be basically, as of right now, 3 different concepts. Obviously the cemetery tours we're going to continue to do. I believe we decided on Michigan this year, 2024.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, already planned out the mapping. We already planned out the cemeteries we're going to and the travel we got to take. The only thing we got to narrow down is obviously all the information for all these cemeteries we got to get together, and we just got to figure out where we're staying while we're doing it. Because as much as we probably could get it wrapped up in one day, I think I would also like to not do it all in one day.
Right. Yeah, 2 or 3 is the ideal.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe I think the way I looked at it, and it's something we will have to discuss come 2025, is Michigan might be the last state we could do in just a 2-day time. Um, Everything else would probably be like a majority of the first day driving there, getting a couple done, staying, getting more done, staying, finish up a couple, and then heading home. So,
Yep.
depending on where we're at in 2025, which I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to put anything out there in the world that may come back to bite us in the ass, but I'm just going to do it anyways and pray everything works out right. I'm hoping by 2025 we become more financially better to where we could keep moving forward and doing more and affording more and everything. Obviously, Carter Comics is a savior to us as far as podcasting and getting our content out there. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that we are doing and have been doing. So as far as Doug, Dr. Doug, and his wife and Carter Comics as their business, thank you for everything you have done for us over the course of the last year plus. Like I said, the cemetery tours wouldn't be they wouldn't be what they are.
No, it wouldn't exist.
No.
Really?
If anything, we probably would just wash, rinse, repeat at every cemetery we went to, and the Illinois one, which was
we would have found like 10 more cemeteries in Illinois.
Yeah. So the fact is that we have a sponsor like CarterComics.com, who are willing to invest in us to do these things. I appreciate it, and we love you guys for it. It gives us the ability to travel and stay in hotels, and it doesn't come out of our pockets, because obviously, this year's, everything just is expensive, and like bills are a real thing in life, and the fact that I don't have to pull out of my own money and Joe doesn't have to pull out his own money to do stuff like this, we can use our sponsorship money. It's an incredible thing. And I know a lot of people don't really talk about stuff like that on their podcasts and everything, but I'm okay doing it here because, first off, people need to realize that Carter Comics, how great they are for doing stuff like this for us. But also they have a great discount, of FreakNet, discount code FreakNet saves you 10% on your entire purchase at their website or on their 4 eBay accounts, and links to those are on their homepage as well. So I encourage you guys, if you're fans of comics and they have thousands of titles, if you think they don't have a type of comic you want, whether it be Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or whatever, they have it. They have thousands of titles. They have so many titles. Not all of them are even online yet. So if you ever think like I'm looking for a certain book or I'm looking for a certain genre, if you reach out to them either on Facebook at CarterComics.com, or if you go to their homepage and just reach out to them through there and say, hey, I'm looking for Star Wars, or I'm looking for, Captain America, I'm looking for Batman, whatever, I'm looking for My Little Pony, whatever the fuck you're looking for, they'll be able to help you with that. Because like I said, I've seen their stock, and there's so many boxes of so many comics, graded comics, raw comics. There's so much out there. Like I said, it's not all online yet. But reach out to them. They'll be able to help you. Like I said, our discount code saves you 10% on your entire purchase, and it can be used over and over again. So if this month you want to buy like X amount of comics, our discount code saves you 10%. And next month you want to do it again, you can save 10%. And that's what's cool about them, because it's not a one and done fucking thing with them. They understand that people want to buy things, but they also want to save money. So the 10% discount at FreakNet will be used on every single purchase you make. And so I encourage you guys to go over there. There was one thing we were hoping to do this year with them, and that was the comic auction. And we didn't get a chance to do that this year. And I would love to try to do that for them in 2024, because we do owe them a lot. So if 2025 is better than 2020, if we grow in 2024 and we could find a way to, increase, sponsorships and stuff like that, then in 2025, we'll be able to still enjoy sleeping in separate hotel rooms. If not, we're probably going to have to bunk up, which means you're not going to
sleeping in a car.
God, yeah, probably.
We'll do it Carl Styles. We'll find a campground near the cemetery.
Joy. God, I could not imagine both of us sleeping in the Chevy. What the hell do I have? Malibu, yeah. God, I don't even know what I don't drive.
Just lean the chairs back.
Yeah, God, I'm just like
I'm 20 again.
Right. So,
oh God. My back hurts just joking about it.
Dude, so the last time I ever slept in a vehicle was when I had my Ram pickup truck, and I had to sleep in it when we all went on that camping trip, and Colin snored me out of the tent.
Oh my God.
It was bad. And I know my snoring is bad, but my snoring doesn't keep me up. Colin's snoring kept me up to the point where I just went to the truck and slept for, I think he woke me up at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever, and I just went and slept for like 4 hours and shit. He's like, so where'd you go? I'm like, I had to go sleep in the truck, dude. Like, it was bad, but I do not want to sleep in a car again. I do not. No. So, like I said, luckily, as of right now, we don't have to do things like that because of CarterComics.com. And worst case scenario, if we do after Michigan will be fine. But after that, when we go to like Minnesota, Iowa, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and all that stuff, it's going to be a couple-day trips and stuff. And I mean, it either comes down to, renting 2 hotel rooms that we're sharing for 2 days or renting 4 that we're not. And I know hotel rooms aren't going to get any cheaper. And we do stay at some nice hotels. I'd rather spend the money to stay at a nice one than a questionable like motel where people are staring through the window. And
same.
So I feel with the progression that the ideas I have for all of us, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you, Joe, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed about it or anything like that. But I do believe that what we do here is really incredible, and I think we have the ability to make it more than what we have. And I'm hoping in 2024 we can show people that. Like I said, we do really well with our cemetery vlogs and stuff like that on YouTube. They're the most viewed and watched and commented and interacted videos that we do. The diet journeys, no one really gives a shit. Nobody wants to watch 2 chubby guys talk about how they're eating kale. It's whatever.
Right. Well, not until we've lost some weight doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dramatically,
right. Yeah. I think they're more focused on watching us make the meals we're eating instead of just talking about eating them.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Right. Yeah. But I think the on the go with Travis and Joe videos that we did and that we're going to continue to do, and also the bar top based episode, which again I don't want to give the name away because I love the name. I don't want to steal it until we start getting videos out on there, which we'll probably end up stealing it anyways, regardless. But still,
yeah, but at least we can say we did it first. That's all.
Exactly, right? Yeah. This freaking show happened here first, so if it ever pops up somewhere else, which is still 10 years and no one's thought of that yet, you're nuts. I think those 2 new series that we're going to do on YouTube is definitely going to help out our YouTube channel and hopefully, kind of grow our downloads and stuff so we can start getting some of that YouTube money like everyone else is.
Heck yeah.
So, I know I threw a lot of information at you, Joe. To recap real quick, Power Hour's joining Freakin Studios. We are looking to start the Bible-based podcast at Easter. We're going to continue to do On the Go with Travesty and Cartoon Joe. On the Go with Travesty and Joe. And also the bar top based segments and stuff like that too. Is there anything that you want to see us do in 2024?
I feel like I'm a little put on the spot. I think that really covers it all. I really, everything that we're talking about sounds really good to me, and I'm not sure that I have a whole lot of capacity in my life to do much more than that, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe we should look into increasing our video presence. We could put we do this over Skype, so we could record our faces if we wanted to and put it on YouTube so that we could be on YouTube and, wherever pods are casted.
That was one thing, not to cut you off. I do apologize for that. I know I do that a lot, and I'll try to be better in 2024.
Sure.
There was a video that you sent me that talks about how to like increase your presence on YouTube, where it's like you release like a weekly show, like daily like reels or something like that, or whatever the
Yep.
hell it was. You remember
Yep.
that? I would love to do something like that. And I have no problem doing the editing and stuff for like that. If you want, if you're okay with doing video, podcasts, I'm okay with doing it too. And I have no problem doing the editing for it. Because what we could do is like, we could always release the audio the week of, and I could always edit the videos and release it the week later.
Right.
So I'm fine with starting video editing, in the next season. If you want to do it, I want to do it too.
Sure.
Okay. So let's do that. So there we go.
I mean, I think if we're going for it, let's go for it. You know?
Yeah. 2024, we're adding video. Because I'm also adding video podcasting to JFW for next season too. So.
Oh, nice. Great.
Yeah. So, but, yeah, so that's great. So we'll do that. And like
1995, video is coming to radio.
Right. It just means I have to wear a shirt and comb my hair and stuff now. But yeah, no, I'm fine. Anything else other than that thought?
No, I think that that's probably good enough for next year. I think if I love being ambitious. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that is a really solid start. And I think if things go really well next year with that, then the following year we could definitely, take on the go and take it just from, quick food reviews to actually sitting in restaurants around Illinois or whatever, going to, not to just be Guy Fieri, but going to diners, drive-ins, and dives and checking out the things that we have. I believe there's a place in Illinois. It's a hamburger stand. That's one of the best hamburger stands in the nation that is only open for 2 hours a day during the guy's lunch break from his regular job. I would love to go try that place. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have a TikTok of that place saved in my phone because I want to go to this place.
Right. I'm saying, I'm not sure I want to do it next year, but not that I want to do it literally whenever, but
yeah,
in terms of the scope of our podcast and the ability to actually do it, maybe 2025 is the year we go do that. I really think that the goals that you've set for the year are really achievable.
Yeah.
And I think let's achieve them and then use that momentum to go into the year after, doing even more.
Oh, 100%. Because I don't want this to be, I don't want people thinking that once January 1st hits, there's going to be like a dozen videos, it's going to be a slow growth in 2024. Because the thing is, I don't want to burn out so quickly.
Right.
Agreed. So, and that's why with the new addition to the Power Hour, that has nothing to do with us. It's just, in all honesty, they're just throwing our logo on their advertisements.
Right.
They're gonna upload their shit on YouTube just like they do and everything. Like they're gonna do their shit. It's just a way to growth and promote Freakin Studios. I don't want, like I said, I'm fine with starting the Bible-based podcast 3 months from now. It's not
right.
We don't need to start immediately. And then as far as the videos goes on YouTube and everything, if I could have a week to get the video portion of our audio out, then I'm fine with that too, because I can at least get the audio out there when we get the downloads. And if people want to watch the reels or the clips or whatever the hell, I gotta go watch that video again, but it seems really simple. If I can take a week to do that shit, I'm fine with doing that too, because I don't have to put it out like that night and all that other stuff and everything. And it gives us more content. And if we do maybe 1 or 2 videos like a month or every couple months or whatever, then because we both have lives outside of this stuff that we have to live. So to get together, 3-4 times a fucking month is just not feasible.
Right.
Maybe once or twice every couple months, then maybe it's possible, because then all we have to do is just like, okay, here's a list of the ideas that we have. How many can we do in one run? Stuff like that. Just like when we did the hot sauces and the holiday stuff, we were able to get it done together and get a couple episodes out. So it's definitely going to be all about planning. And like I said, it's going to be a slow growth. It's going to be a progression over time. And yes, you're your thought about going to these places and being like a Guy Fieri, I absolutely love the idea because I think people may enjoy it more from normal folk doing it than a television actor.
Right.
You know, and I would love to go check out like these beef stands, these hot dog stands, these pizza places. Like one place I would love to check out, which I don't know if it's feasible because I know how busy they are, but there's that place that does like that pizza bowl thing. You ever see that?
Oh yeah. It's like it comes out upside down.
Yeah, they flip it upside down and like pull the bowl away from it.
Yep.
I would love to check that out. You know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, 2024 is growth, but it's going to be a slow growth. It's like, I don't want people to think that like you're gonna, you know, pop onto Freakin' Studios January 1st and see a dozen videos. It's not, it will not happen. So.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, I think what you've laid out sounds really good and sounds very doable, and I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. So.
Yeah, and then obviously the hope is to like grow sponsorships so we can keep on doing more. Like I said, I love Carter Comics. I absolutely love them, and I'm happy that out of all of the sponsors that we have had over the course of the years and everything, the ones that have come and gone and everything, Carter Comics has been around with us the longest, and they have benefited us more than anyone else. Like nothing against Audible, but I think we're at the point where everyone has already gotten their free subscription to Audible.
Right. Yeah.
You know? If you haven't, go to audibletrial.com/freaknet and subscribe, but I'm pretty sure everyone has already got their free 30-day trial of Audible through somebody else.
There it is.
But also another thing I want to do, which it's going to take me some creative ideas. Like I want to grow our products on TeePublic. You know, get more designs and stuff out there and more merchandise. That's something I also want to work on because my overall goal for that, which isn't going to happen in 2024, but maybe later on, is I want to find a way to do merchandise ourselves. And find a way to, that way we don't have to worry about going through like TeePublic. Nothing against TeePublic. They do phenomenal work and all that stuff, and they handle the production and the shipping and all that stuff. But maybe in a few years, if I can figure out a way to produce our own merchandise and ship it out ourselves, and we kind of cut out the middleman and maybe it can be a little bit more affordable and stuff like that too. But they do a lot of great sales and everything. I mean, they do have deals almost all the time there. So I'm really happy for 2024, but also I'm really happy for what we have done in 2023.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the cemetery vlogs, again, another huge success. I thought maybe it was just been a fluke in 2022, but it wasn't. The downloads, the subscriptions, the views and everything, over there. Thank all of you who do, check out our videos over on YouTube. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to Freakin' Studios. It costs nothing to subscribe, but those subscriptions to the channel really do help us out a lot. Like I said, and I mentioned that countless times when it comes to, listening to our podcast on platforms. You know, just if you subscribe, it costs you nothing, but it makes a big difference for us over here. So wherever you listen to our podcast, subscribe there. If they ask for a rating or review, I know Spotify asks for a rating. I know Apple Podcasts asks for ratings and reviews. Click the 5 stars. Say, hey, this show's freaking awesome. Get the pun in there and everything. I want to grow the social media basis, so I do want to start using Instagram and Facebook a lot more. That'll be another thing that we could work on and everything about just like posting like topics. If we talk about something, we find an article about it, we can share it there and stuff like that. But again, everything's going to be a slow growth through 2024. So that way none of us are overwhelmed and we don't get burnt out so quickly. Slow growth, but I am excited that 2024 is coming around and everything that we're doing is doable and it's over time, and I know that our listeners out there will love it and appreciate it. Anything to add, Joe?
Nope.
Awesome. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show, but during the holidays when we're all taking breaks, maybe they have to go into a vault and recap some shit. So if our listeners need some Cartoon Joe, where can they go?
If you need some Cartoon Joe, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Guys, make sure you are following us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freaking Show. And of course, make sure you go over to the YouTube, search Freakin' Studios, subscribe to us, hit the notification bell. and enjoy some of the videos that are over there. Like I said, we do have some out. We're going to have more out, and there'll be more to come. So, Joe, I will talk to you in 2024. You have a great new year.
Thank you. You too.
And guys, as always, I am Travis C.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of this freaking show. I'm out.